Okay.
Entry and exit tones are off.
Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope everybody's feeling incredible this morning. My name is Haziq Ali. I'm a revenue acceleration coach. I'm a self-esteem development expert, starting with my own. And everything we give you every single morning is designed to help you go further, faster, with less effort. For my money, one of the things that can do that quicker than most anything else is having a little bit more confidence. And this confidence gap that you hear people talk about mainly applies to women. Since this is International Women's Month, I don't mind kicking it with you like that. But women ain't the only ones. Like if you're the youngest person in your office, or if you're the oldest person in your office, if you're an introvert, if you're the only minority, you probably feel a little insecure. You probably start second guessing your actions. So what I'm giving you this morning is 7 different ways that you can boost your confidence, 7 different ways that you can start to feel more in line with your competence, right? Because it's one thing to have confidence, but if you have confidence without competence, then what you're really dealing with is arrogance. What you're really dealing with is delusion. So I got 7 for you real quick. Somebody give me a share. Good morning, millionaires. Let's go. Let's go. Give me a share, and I'm gonna run these down. Throw them up in your notes, Michelle. What's up, Samaya? Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's get it. Here's the first one, y'all. Make the choice. Make the choice. Write that in your notes. Make the choice. 9 times out of 10, you're more than qualified for the job you have. So what if instead of you always working on improving your skills, you started to focus on increasing your confidence, playing bigger, deciding to remove some of the limits that you got in your mind, right? A significant part of confidence, millionaires, is what psychologists call volitional. In other words, it's of our own volition. Y'all remember that Bobby Brown joint? It is my prerogative. Yeah, so that's what volitional means, right? Volitional means it's our choice. And what that means is that if you put in enough effort, we can expand our confidence. We all have the ability to do that. But we only going to get there when we stop trying to be perfect. Does everybody get me? Even if you're terrified to ask your boss for a raise, even if you're terrified to ask your yoga instructor out to dinner, you got to ignore all your second guessing. You got to ignore all the negative thoughts that start to picture the worst case scenario and then just go for it. Over time, you learning to cope with the failure, because I ain't saying hope you fail, but I do want to point out that when you learn to cope with you failing, all of a sudden your confidence is going to increase, because what you're going to recognize is the simple sentence that everybody has in their mind if you call them charismatic. You know what that sentence is? No matter what happens, I'm going to be okay. No matter what happens, I'm going to be okay. I was talking to one of my friends yesterday, and I was like, man, you know, I think I mentioned something about trust issues. And then they was like, well, do you trust God? And I was like, yeah. And it's like, well, do you trust yourself? And I was like, yeah. It's like, well, you ain't got no trust issues. Ain't that something? What if in your mind you decided no matter what, I'm going to be all right? Can somebody give me that in the comments? I dare you. Type that in and then share it. No matter what happens, I'm going to be okay. No matter what, I'm going to be okay. You could say it even shorter. You could be like, God got me. God got me. Here's the second one I got for you. Avoid the perfectionism trap. Type this in the comments. Write this in your notes. Perfectionism is a curse of poverty. Perfectionism is a poverty curse. I want you to put that in your mind so you stop thinking it's so sexy to be a perfectionist. You know how you do. They ask you in a job interview, so what's your worst quality? Oh, I'm a perfectionist, right? That's how you answer the worst quality question, right? And you think you're tricking them. No, perfectionism really is one of the worst qualities. You hear me? Failure and risk taking are key components of you being able to build confidence, right? Because it's not until you get punched in the face that you recognize getting punched in the face ain't fatal. You hear me? And since this is International Women's Month, I'm going to go ahead and throw something out there for the ladies. Ladies, if you want to start overcoming your perfectionist tendencies, what you got to do is begin to accept that in life ain't nothing certain, right? If you're struggling with perfectionism, I dare you, begin to picture your journey as you being at the bottom of a staircase. You know, if you've ever taken that Kaizen Academy class we do on habits, you know, I talk about at any point in your life you want mastery and you're starting off as a beginner, it's just a matter of you doing enough reps. Enough repetitions is going to get anybody from amateur to mastery. It's always just amount of repetitions on the scale. If you keep on doing it, you're going to get better at it. And that includes not hurting so much when you fail, not hurting so much when you stumble and fall. I don't know if you understand it, but a lot of us feel like for us to bust a move, we need to see what it looks like at the top. But you don't need to see the top to take the next step. You ain't just got to stare up the steps. What you got to focus on is stepping up the stairs. So you got to ask yourself, how can I just take this one next best step? And check it out. What does that one next best step even look like? Because I can always go back and start over. Am I making sense to somebody? Yeah, let them know, Corey. Perfectionism is a curse of poverty, K. Nicole. That's exactly right. Here's the third one I got for you. Leverage your past successes. Millionaires, you can't build on nothing but success. There's no way for you to build on failure. It's impossible. Only thing you can possibly stand on is times where you did this successfully before. So I dare you list it. I dare you begin to recognize maybe I'm more confident than I've been thinking, right? Making everyday decisions takes confidence, right? You decided successfully what you was going to eat for lunch, right? You decided successfully exactly how to text your ex, right? You decided with confidence and certainty exactly what to say to your mom. Every day we make hundreds of decisions, almost unconsciously, that each require a little bit more confidence than maybe we thinking, right? So what you can do is boost your confidence by reminding yourself of all the successful decisions you've already made this week, this month, so far today. You got what I mean? You hear, baby, that was a successful decision. So give it up for yourself. All right, here's number 4. Learn to ignore the inner hater. That's number 4. Learn to ignore your inner hater. Yeah, you got one. I got one too. We all got one. We only human. Why? Because the brain is actually just designed to keep us safe. I know. We thought the brain was here to help us build a better mousetrap. We thought the brain was here to help us succeed. We thought the brain was here to make us rich or make us happy. The brain is here for none of the above. The brain is here strictly to help you survive. And what that means is it's mostly going to be a hater of new opportunity. Because it's like, if door number 1, I don't know what's in it. Door number 2 is the same thing that was there yesterday. We picking door number 2. I'm not about to let you go through door number 1, and I don't know whether a tiger gonna jump on you. I don't know if you're gonna walk in that door and instantly fall through some bottomless pit. I don't know if you're gonna walk through that door and instantly be attacked with fire hoses. So we're gonna go with door number 2, like we went with yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. That's what your brain is saying to you constantly. It might sound crazy, y'all, but comfort zone equals coffin. Because in life, you can only grow or die. You get me? There's no growth in the comfort zone. There's no comfort in the growth zone. You almost going to have to suspend your disbelief a little bit if you're going to have any place in this world. You hear what I'm saying to you? If you operated like a computer all the time, you put in all the inputs, the things that could go wrong combined with the odds, you wouldn't do nothing. You wouldn't do nothing. You'd be thinking about, man, if I go outside today, I might get hit with a bus. A plane might fall out the sky. You get me? There's infinite things that can go wrong. You got me? My father always told me when he started his business, he was like, man, had I really thought this out, I'd have probably never did it. He was like, the real reason that I was so confident is that I was actually kind of naive. I think there's a jewel in that. Millionaires, having complete and utter accuracy is probably going to be an impediment to you getting stuff done. I know what you're thinking. Oh, once I learn all this, I'm going to be able to do it. But no, once you do all this, you're going to be able to learn. You'll get that later. Here's number 5. Start early. Start early. Somebody say start early. This is number 5. Start early. What if you started teaching your children the benefits of confidence now? What if you encourage them right now to take risks? What if you taught them how failure actually is pretty acceptable as long as they make new mistakes? What if you reinforced that pleasing other people and being good all the time ain't always the most important thing? What if you taught them this from an early age? What if you decided to raise them up properly so when they become grown, they don't depart from it? You got me? I don't know if we are really thinking about boosting our children's confidence when we're constantly telling them no, and you're going to fall down and hurt yourself. I was with my ex-wife at a track meet a couple of days ago. It's raining all out there on the bleachers and everything. And one of her kids got on these, because she has a few kids after me and after our marriage. And one of her children is running down the bleachers and has on cowboy boots, and it was just now raining. And she's like, you're gonna fall on your back. You're gonna fall on your back. I was like, that was a bad affirmation, right? 10 minutes later, the girl slides, falls on her back. I was like, just like your mom said. Anyway, y'all get me? You got to be careful what you're saying to your kids, because that stuff goes in their brain. You got me? All right, here's number 6. Don't be afraid to ask for guidance. I only got 7. Y'all, we almost out of here. Number 6 is don't be afraid to ask for guidance. Like my mentor always says, you don't ask for help because you're weak. You ask for help because you want to remain strong, right? Plenty of people you talk to will be like, yo, they never lacked the confidence. That never even came into their mind because they started so early. When you talk to people like Tiger Woods, they never didn't play golf, so confidence wasn't even an issue. You got me? However, there are times when life will come along with a situation that starts to make you feel a little insecure, right? Maybe you're managing people that are older than you at your job, and because you're younger, you don't feel as smart, right? We all going through this kind of crap. All I'm saying is, if you need help, ask. All I'm saying is, the wisest people around you love sharing their advice and probably would love to pour it into their own children, except their children don't care. So you come along asking for advice, you mess around, start looking like a daughter. You start looking like a son to them. Am I making sense? Don't be afraid. That's a confidence booster. And here's the last one I got, y'all. Be your own public defender. Be your own public defender. What do I mean? You get locked up for a traffic ticket and you represent yourself on the, yeah, I mean, maybe, right? Maybe. I can't lie. It's worked for me before. But that's not what we're talking about. When I say be a public defender in your brain, what I'm saying is, let's say you received a performance review at work, right? And your boss gave you 80% positive feedback and only 20% negative. What you're going to do, if you like most people, is dwell on the negative 20%, right? Again, this is International Women's Month. So ladies, I'm especially talking to you. Y'all probably had this a little bit worse than us for whatever reason. I'm asking you, I'm begging you, I'm pointing out that you have the ability to remind yourself of the positive. You have an innate ability to reframe your thoughts, to realize that most people are receiving similar reviews. Remind yourself that the feedback was mainly positive. It's important for you to try to use some of these tools to get through all that overthinking, to get through all of that just sitting in it and dwelling in it and letting it just overtake your vibe. You just got to be able to move on at some point. Am I making sense? Yeah, Miss Powell, start early. And speaking of start early, we did not do that today, but we got out of here pretty much on time. It's affirmation time. I hope y'all feeling good. It's affirmation time. Let's run through it real quick. Ain't nothing like saying it with energy, saying it with self-love, self-care. Let's go. Repeat after me. I am so happy and grateful that in every day